Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reading a Scaramouche listener by me. So let's get into it. The idea of traveling to the land of wisdom with Scaramouche is enough to send your mind into a flurry of anticipation. After all, it is not every day that he suggests something like this. A pilgrimage of sorts, to seek the blessing of the Dendro Archon, Nahida. You wake up at the first light of dawn, the warm rays filtering through the curtains of your shared room. You can feel his presence even before you turn to look at him. He's already awake, sitting at the edge of the bed, his back turned to you, his familiar silhouette against the rising sun is both comforting and distant. You're up early. You say softly, your voice still laced with sleep. He does not turn around, but you can hear the smirk in his voice when he replies. I couldn't let you wake up alone, could I? You sit up, stretching your arms above your head. You're unusually considerate today. Don't get used to it, he mutters, finally turning to face you. His eyes, a deep violet, held a flicker of something you couldn't quite place. Anticipation, perhaps? Or maybe something deeper. It's a special day after all. You nod, feeling the weight of his words settle on your chest. Today is special. The idea of receiving Nahida's blessing together feels monumental, like a step forward in your relationship, the solidifying of what you already know. That you and Scaramouche were for each other. That he, for all his prickly exterior, truly cared about you and loved you. And as you prepare for the journey, you notice that he's more meticulous than usual, ensuring every detail is perfect, and you catch him watching you out of the corner of his eye. And when you turn to meet his gaze, he quickly looks away, pretending to adjust something on his own outfit. Are you nervous? You ask, half teasing as you fasten your cloak around your shoulders. He scoffs, rolling his eyes. Why would I be nervous? It's just a formality. You know better than to believe him. Despite his bravado, there is a tension in his movements, a subtle unease that you've come to recognize over the time. He's always been good at hiding his emotions, but you've learned to read the signs. You don't have to pretend with me, you know, you say gently, walking over to him. You reach out, placing a hand to his arm. His skin is warm beneath your touch, and for a moment he relaxes, the tension in his shoulders easing. I'm not pretending, he says quietly, though there is a softness in his voice that betrays him. And you smile, standing on your tiptoes to kiss his cheek. Good, because we're in this together. And when you finally arrive in Sumeru, the city is a sight to behold. The towering trees, their leaves glowing with an ethereal green light, seem to welcome you with open arms. The city is alive with the hum of knowledge, the air thick with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of rustling leaves. He guides you through the winding streets, his hand still holding yours. Finally, you reach the entrance to a sanctuary where Nahida resides. The massive tree that houses the sanctuary is awe-inspiring, its roots stretching deep into the earth, its branches reaching for the heavens. He pauses at the entrance, his hand tightening around yours. Are you ready? You nod, squeezing his hand in return. and together you step into a sanctuary, the cool, soothing air wrapping around you like a protective cloak. And the Dendro Archon is as ethereal as you imagined her small form radiating an aura of calm and wisdom. She regards you both with a gentle smile, her eyes twinkling with something akin to amusement. Welcome. I've been expecting you. Scaramouche releases your hand, taking a step forward, and you can see the tension in his posture, the way his hands clench into fists at his side. He bows his head slightly, a gesture of respect you barely see from him. Nahida, we've come to seek your blessing. Her smile widens, and she steps closer, and she nods. I see. And then she looks at you for a moment. You've come a long way, haven't you? You nod, and Scaramouche holds your hand. And then she reaches out, placing a hand on his arm. You've carried a heavy burden for a long time, Scaramouche. But now, you no longer carry that burden. And instead, you're able to believe that you have a heart, just like I promised. And you, she says, turning to look at you, you've chosen to stand by him, despite everything. You nod, your throat tight with emotion. I love him. I want to be with him no matter what. Nahida smiles, a knowing smile that reaches her eyes. Love is a powerful force. It can heal wounds that have festered for centuries, and it can light the way through the darkest of nights. I will bless your union, and may the light of the Dendro Archon guide you both on your journey together. Scaramouche smiles shyly, bowing once more. Thank you, he says, his voice fragile and vulnerable, and she only smiles gently at you before looking at you. Take care of him for me. He's a gentle soul, and I'm sure you know that, she says, leaving him stunned speechless as you nod, and then she floats away, while you just hold his hand, smiling at him, because now is the start of a new chapter in your life, one that you've waited for a very long time.